right. Let me see a bit the wonderful people in the audience. Buongiorno. Good afternoon. Sawadika. Hope I pronounced that properly. Good. They gave me around 25 minutes. Let's make this time useful, all right? So, ideally, I want to teach you some practical solutions today, all right? What you can actually do with AI today to get ahead, to win your precious time back, to increase your online revenue, and just to take advantage of this incredible tool that we have. All right, so some of the things that I'm going to say are going to be a bit uncomfortable, but my job is not to say nice and cute things. My job is to make you smarter. Is that okay with you? Okay, good. As you can see, the objectives for today, I want to help you regain 10 to 20 hours per week back, and of course, increase your online revenue. Now, if we go a bit through the numbers that people don't usually do, right? Because I work with a few companies. And if we manage to give you a 25% productivity increase, right? So that's 10 hours per week back. If you run the math, that's up to 2 months per year back. That's huge. With 2 months, you can stay in Thailand, 2 months more. You can build a business. You can increase your revenue, whatever you want to do. 2 months extra per year is huge. And let me see if we can reach it today, all right? Now, who I am, who's the guy in the golden tie? It doesn't really matter. You're not here necessarily to know my story because that's, like, you can ask me later if you want to. I just want to help you understand these tools. I worked also in Berlin together with a small company called Google. I am a chief AI officer for a couple of companies. I've been talking about this stuff since 2019 in Italy with my master's thesis. But back then, nobody cared about AI. Well, things have changed. Now, let's see if you maybe identify a bit with Mad Busy Mike, where especially if you are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, you are probably overwhelmed on some days by too many admin tasks. You probably know that you should be doing content on social media, but it's kind of random. You don't have a real strategy there. And especially if you're founders or, like, again, solopreneurs, sales is not your strong point. Like, you kind of need to improve that because I know that these were my problems when I started this, right? I sucked. So I used AI basically to improve. Now, before we jump into the solutions that I got for you today, because there are going to be 7 solutions, how many of you use ChatGPT like weekly? Let's put it this way, once per week. Raise your hands. Quite a lot of you. That's good. How many of you, though, use it once per day? That's great. I love you folks. All right, good. Well, there's also more to AI than just ChatGPT. I actually want to show you some workflows, some tools that you can try out to actually expand your toolkit. All right? Now, before we go into this, let's do a quick exercise. I mean, like, mine is the last talk of this event, so you've been sitting here the whole day, you know, like, everybody, can we please stand up a bit? Come on, let's get a bit of energy back. Come on. Show bit of, you know, like, human energy. All right, good. We get some energy back. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. If you work less than 10 hours per week, you can sit down. I envy that man over there in the first row. If you work less than 20 hours per week, you may sit down. Good. You're doing good. If you work less than 30 hours per week, you may sit down. Not bad, good little work-life balance, I got you. But if you work less than 40 hours per week, you may sit down. I'm gonna help you a lot, folks. So those people that are still sitting up, I got some solutions, but I got you, all right? You may sit down now, all right? Thank you so much for participating in this. So, what I wanna show you today, right? Because again, I work with like hundreds of like entrepreneurs, small teams, some B2B companies and so on. So when we think about AI, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of hype, right? There's like the news every day, top 50 new AI tools, whatever, and so on. You don't need none of that. Because if you stop and think about it, when is the last time that AI news helped you in your career? How did it benefit you? It didn't. What you actually need to figure out is what are your repetitive tasks? You sit down and you figure out, oh, I do copywriting every day. I respond to emails. I do sales calls, right? So I do them a lot per day. This is where I could potentially use AI to help me win time back, all right? So you focus on yourself, not on the clickbait titles on YouTube, not on the hype, none of that. You don't need that. Second step would be to create at this point your AI solutions, and I'm going to give you 7 today, right, that are customized to you, that will help you with the majority of your repetitive tasks, and then you would reinvest that time, right? Because once you manage to use a bit of ChatGPT, simple stuff, no code, nothing complicated, but once you manage to win back 30 minutes per day, then you can try out new automations, new tools, right? So now suddenly you have 1 extra hour per day, which if you ask me, is pretty cool. You finally have time to think clearly, to be less stressed, to actually focus on what matters to you. Does that make sense? Yeah? I hope. Okay, good. Now, let's go directly into the 7 solutions. One of them that not a lot of people know, especially like this one you can try for free. Don't even need a ChatGPT Plus subscription or anything. Are you familiar with GPTs, yes? Raise your hands if you know GPTs. Some of you. All right. Well, you can simply go to ChatGPT, look for GPTs, and find this one, Calendar GPT. This one is pretty special because what it does is you can connect it to your calendar with Zapier. All of it is for free, and it essentially can help you, for example, create events in your calendar, know what you have to do for today or the next day. But the cool thing that not a lot of people know is that you can essentially talk with it, and it's going to be like your VA. So what I do is I wake up in the morning, right? I put my headphones on, I go for a walk, and I ask it, it's like, what are my tasks for today? What should I prioritize? Can you do some research for me to be more prepared for this call or whatever I have to do? So this is essentially your free mini VA. It works great, and it's free to try out, all right? By the way, quick note, so some of these slides are going to be quite information dense, so you might want to take like pictures or stuff like that, all right? Because I'm trying to give you as much practical value as I can with this, all right? So Calendar GPT, try it out. If you have a lot of meetings, right? You work in sales or whatever you need to do, project management, you have a lot of meetings. You need to prepare presentations. And if you use PowerPoint, that can take you maybe 1 to 2 hours. It doesn't need to be like that. Because you can literally spend 7 minutes with a tool called Gamma that makes presentations for you in a couple of minutes. Now this thing that you see on the left, this is not sped up the video. This is in real time, which is pretty cool. It's free to try. By the way, I'm not affiliated with any of these tools here. I just tried hundreds of them, and I'm trying to give you here those that I use daily for myself and my clients, and they made a difference. So definitely try it out for free. The other one that you see is, well, when I got in meetings, like a lot of time, I don't know about you, how you do them, but you want to pay attention to the other person talking, right? And you take notes maybe on a paper or whatever. Well, that distracts you. I want to be laser focused on the person talking, right? So that's why you'd have one of these AI meeting recorders that they join, and they take notes for you. You get the video, you get the full transcript, you get summaries, and this helped me a lot to coach myself, basically. I would go into this transcript and I would ask it, what did I mess up? Why did I not close the deal? Were some customer objections that I did not address? Are there some important follow-ups I should be doing here because I didn't figure it out? I don't know. So you always have a clear idea of what happened in the conversation. And once you get like 10 to 20 of these recordings, they can really help you understand some of your patterns. Do you maybe talk too much in meetings? Like me, I'm a bit of an Italian chatterbox, so kind of happens. And because you see the statistics, right? So if I talk 80% of the time, maybe I should have listened a bit more. It's just an idea, right? So I'm recommending, there's quite a few of them. There is like Otter, Fireflies. I'm recommending Grain because I've been using it for like more than 1 year. And on the free plan, you get maximum like up to 20 recordings for free. But the hack here is you can just delete the old ones, and so you have unlimited ones. So that's pretty neat. Just don't tell the CEO I gave you this tip. This one is to show you a bit more the capabilities of AI, right? Because again, as Dan was mentioning earlier, these agentic AIs. This I built for myself. I needed this solution because I would wake up in the morning and I had like 30 emails to answer. It took me 2-3 hours of my day. I hated that. So what I did is I used this tool called make.com. You can try out for free. It's like really like no code. You can try it. So I connected it to my email. I add my prompts, I build this automation, and now when I wake up in the morning, all my emails are already answered. But I don't want them to be sent. I don't trust the AI at this point. So I just want to read them. If I like them, I send them. If not, I can just modify them and send them. So as you can see, AI is not just ChatGPT talk back and forth. It actually can do many things for you, depending on how you connect it to your software that you use, all right? Now, For content, I mentioned this is one of the problems, I guess, for sole entrepreneurs or marketers and so on, right? So I used to spend way too much time on content. Like, especially if you have a small team, if you're spending 5 hours to make content daily, when do you have time to build products, to improve your marketing, whatever you need to do? So I tried to figure out solutions. One of them, so I'm showing you a combination of tools. All of these, you can try them out for free. Perplexity, how many of you use Perplexity? Yeah, it's a good tool, right? Can you confirm that? It's a solid one. So definitely the difference between searching for stuff on Google where you get ads, the stuff that I used to make in Berlin, and then you get blog links and you have to filter through them and all this. You don't need to do that because with AI, it just gives you the answers to your questions. But you can even take it one step further because you're gonna literally ask it, okay, based on the information that you gave me, now write for me a report for my manager. Create for me a LinkedIn post or something like that. So you can essentially use it as a assistant for that. And it has updated information. If you do video editing, again, I used to do YouTube a few years ago and I sucked at it. So I found out this tool, Opus Pro, which essentially just feed it like videos, right? And it creates for you those viral shorts that you see with, captions, branded, everything looking good and clean, but much, much faster. So this one also you can try it out for free. I think they give you up to 2 hours of free usage of it. So it's definitely a game changer if you do video editing. And you don't want to spend 3 hours of your afternoon just cutting that small part of the video and putting it together. And the last one for marketing and graphic design. So again, when I started this, I was by myself and I suck at drawing too. There's a lot of things I cannot do. But with AI, I can do them, which is Ideogram. So basically, this is made by Googlers too. It's one of those few AIs on the market. Let's put it this way. Maybe you're more familiar with Midjourney. Have you ever heard about that one? Yeah, the problem with them is they kind of suck at writing. When you see the writing, it's kind of weird. They give you this weird writing. This is one of those few tools that actually manages to do writing well too. So you can create a lot of marketing material, with the image and the text in one place, and it's super fast and free. Daily. I think they give you up to 10 generations daily. So definitely it helps you create branded visual material real quick. So definitely try these tools out to just make your content production 5 times faster. Now, this one is a little bit of an update that we got a few days ago. So I'm talking about these 100 AI employees. Now, one of these not very known functions in ChatGPT, because I think they do a garbage job at explaining to you how to use it, is that you can actually connect in one chat multiple GPTs. So essentially, if you, for example, you have a conversation, right, and you can just call inside the conversation multiple, for example, I would have a data analyst figure out some data patterns for me. And then I would call DALL-E in the conversation to make images for me for my article. And then the last, I would just call Canva to help me put the presentation together, all in one chat. And the cool thing is that these GPTs have already been built by people, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. How do you do that? You just simply type @ in the chat, and it's going to bring the latest GPTs that you used. So this is a really advanced, powerful function. Now, the real cool thing, though, that they released a couple of days ago is the task feature. Because one of our limits as humans is that we need to sleep. But we can fix that. The thing is, now what I'm doing, right, you would need to start, it's downtime. You need to go to sleep at 11 p.m. or whatever. Now what you can do with this new function, it's still in beta, but they will improve it this year for sure, is I just go to ChatGPT, I add in 20 tasks. For example, I would tell it, I have this meeting with the client tomorrow. Can you help me prepare? What should I tell them? Do some research. I need to do some other stuff. So I essentially give it 10 tasks, and I tell it to do them during the night so that when I wake up, my work is already half done. So even when you sleep, work can still be done for you by the AI, which is pretty neat to try out. All right, now this one, I'm not going to spoil it too much. It's a little thing that I built for myself because I got bored of the... just take a screenshot of the picture of the QR code. You can check it later just so I don't unfocus you. If you're bored of the standard ChatGPT talk, right, where it's very polite and very agreeable, this is very different. This will curse at you. Now, please don't sue me. This is just a test. I'm just doing it for fun, for myself, for a few friends. But you might be surprised at how unhinged AI can be with proper prompting, all right? So you don't need to give email, login, no nothing. You can just try it out for free. Right, now, to end some of these 7 solutions I'm trying to give you today, let's also focus on how you can make more money. Is that interesting to you? Yeah, cool, I would expect so, right? If you're business owners or if you want to increase revenue. So, let's think about it this way. Sometimes if some of you do consulting or, copywriting, or wherever your services are, if you're not necessarily like an employee, it will be mandatory at some point that you jump on a sales call with a potential lead. And a lot of times, because I talk with like dozens, like if not hundreds of builders, developers, people on the internet doing great work, as I was mentioning, they kind of suck at sales. So they have this great content, it's really intriguing, guides, whatever, and then people come to them and say, hey, can you help me? And then you're on the phone call and they ask you, how much does this cost? And you kind of fumble there back and forth and you lost a deal. That could have been, a difference between $0 or $2,000 of a contract or $5,000. Now, if you're generous and you don't mind losing a $5,000 deal, good for you. But if you do want to close them more, I would advise you to try this out. So what I mean with this is sales battle cards. How many of you are familiar with this concept? Not a lot of you. All right. Well, you can keep it simple. You can just literally ask the AI, what are sales battle cards? But what it is you would essentially use the AI. This is like I tried to simplify this one because like my workflow is a bit more complex. But the idea is that you use the AI to prepare for you a little deck, like 20 cards, where you always have ready customer objections, why your product is better than the competitors, how do you diversify from others? Because this is literally the difference between closing deals and not closing deals. So you're on the call with the person, because again, at the end of the day, even in AI times, humans buy from humans. They're not going to buy from your automated ChatGPT message, right? So when they ask you a question and you fumble those 2 seconds, you lost the deal. This is why you can prepare with this, and when they ask you, oh, cool, I like what you do, but your competitor does it cheaper, why should I pick you? Because, there you go. Smooth, to the point, you know your answer because you prepared for it, and you don't need to do it like 2 weeks like a professional sales guy. You just use this workflow, you ask the AI to prepare for you these potential, like these cards with potential customer questions, right? And you provide them context, you explain to it what do you do and so on, and you're actually ready to close deals. So that's how I use it, and it really helped me a lot. All right? So I think this is the last one. So again, just to remind you that if you actually decide to put AI to work for you today, you have the opportunity this year to win up to 2 months back of time, which I think is huge, and people underestimate this, and it's been working out for me, for some of my clients, and it's amazing. Like, it's really allowed me to actually be here and travel the world and go to Vegas and New York and so on and take care of my family. So it's pretty cool, this thing. Now, last thing is like, oh yeah, if you want some extra help, I'm also doing like this week is going to be like, because now I have like 25 minutes, right? I tried to give as much practical value as I could, but I'm going to do like a whole week program if you actually need a bit of extra support. It's a small group, so just for you to know. But let's go to the actual interesting part, which is your questions. How should I talk with AI? I don't know. Is it actually going to steal my job? I don't know. Anything that you can think about. I think we have around 6 more minutes. This is great. Who wants to be the first to ask a question? Yes, the blonde lady in the back.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi. So,
can you tell me your name real quick?
My name is Laura, and
Hi, Laura.
I've done a lot of contracts with companies where I'm working with a lot of internal data, or I've had to sign non-disclosure agreements, and I have to do presentations that are with internal data or sensitive information or data with their clients. And you can imagine there's part of me that's like, I want to try these products, but I don't know how liable I become, how much am I giving up internal data for these companies that I've signed an agreement for. What do you think the future is with that? How contractors who work with sensitive data can use this and how to navigate that space?
I get asked this often from B2B clients. My easy answer is, if the data is really sensitive, don't use AI. Let me explain. Because I had a situation, for example, with a German client. He was like, hey, we take actually passports from our customers, right? And we could use AI vision to scan them and do our work 10 times faster. Should we do that? And I told them, you can do that. Please don't do it. Because your clients trust you with their very personal information. For now, I haven't seen any malicious use of AI data, right, where they're saving it on their servers and using it for any bad purposes. But if you really want to keep it, private, and this information, like it's really sensitive, just do it manually. Because then you can even tell to the people, hey, it's going to take us more time because we value your data and we signed an NDA, and that's why we want to keep your data safe. And they will understand. If privacy is not a priority for them, just be honest about it and tell them. That's how I would do it. Who's next? Yes, Alina.
Hello, amazing talk. Thank you, Alex. I have two questions because my biggest problem is probably to really understand my target audience. So I was trying to use AI to get more knowledge about them, but I didn't really handle it that well. So maybe there's a tool you can recommend. And the second question, to be honest, I'm often overwhelmed by all these tools. I need several logins. It's just like, I don't know, I forget the password, whatever. Is there one AI tool for everything?
I can help you with that, yeah. For the first question, right, so to figure out your target audience, this is a hard one for all of us, because I've been doing entrepreneurship for like 2 years at this point. And every time the thing is not only you evolve every 3 to 4 months, you work with bigger clients, different ones, you evolve as a person, you figure out new stuff. So what I do is I have I try every quarter to have a conversation with ChatGPT. Now, disclaimer here, I have the $200 one, so it's quite smart, that one. But again, I would just go on a walk, I put my headphones on, and I tell it, hey, these last months I worked with these people. I know that they decided to work with me because of these reasons, because I always try to gather data from them, right? I ask them, why did you join? How did you got into my funnel? Whatever, right? That's going to be. So it's a process. There's no easy answer to this, to finding your target audience, because it's hard for all of us. But it's good to always keep it in mind, to try every day to find a bit more clarity and ask your clients. What helped me a lot was to actually go and ask my clients, why did you choose me? And they're like, oh, because I saw that you're very practical. I was like, okay, I'm going to double down on that. And then it becomes easier because you know what they want and you give it to them and you know who wants this. Does that make sense, I hope? So again, it's not like a one and done, it's a continuous process. For one tool that can do everything, now, one of the questions I get from business owners, which AI is the best on the market? Is it ChatGPT? Is it Gemini? Is it Claude? I don't have it in my slides today here because I didn't have a lot of, I had 50 slides and I had to cut them down. But a tool is called chathub.gg. What it does is it's, because normally all these tools, they cost $20 per month, so then it becomes really expensive. I pay for all of them and it's a ridiculous bill. But with chathub.gg, it allows you to test all the AIs in one place. So it's literally 6 screens, one next to each other, and you can compare the results. So then you can figure out which is the best AI for your specific tasks. And then you can decide which one you actually want to buy. And it costs you $18 per month, so it's even cheaper than $20. So I use that daily. It's a really good tool. All right? So we have 2 more minutes. Are you going to go on the stage? Or I'm going to ask another question here. One more question. I got permission. Lady in the front, ladies first, I guess. I saw. You can ask me later. I'm going to be around here.
So,
hi. What's your name?
Sorry, my name's Galvi, and I work in a field where I'm not allowed to use AIs because that's what I do. I train AIs on language data sets. So that's how AI softwares are learning how to understand all of us. But do you think, is there any way for me to skip that, actually go ahead and use LLMs and not use AIs and not let my company know that I'm using them?
Yes, the answer is yes. You can use local LLMs. So basically, there's those the meta models, the llama ones. You can actually install them on your local computer, and it just runs locally. Data is not being saved. You have it on your computer, and they can also be uncensored. So if you want, for example, 7 bullet points to how to steal a car, that will do it for you. And I'm talking from experience. I didn't steal a car, but it can do it. It will give you the tips. So definitely local LLMs installed on your laptop can work as a solution. Otherwise, it's a tricky one, because again, you don't want to ruin the trust of your company, right? If they find out, you're going to get in trouble, so be careful.
But like people who work under me still use it. They're required to write prompt. They would
Yeah.
go to ChatGPT and ask
ต้องมา
ChatGPT
โช
to
ว์
write
ตัวถ้า
prompts
สมม
for
ติเขากลับ
them.
มาไม่ทันน่ะ
And
โชว์ตัว
people like me who are at
ใน
an
ยก
upper
มือ
position, they
ว่า
can
อยู่
go
นะครับ
back, and it's like so
Yeah,
easy to
yeah,
guess
yeah,
that
yeah.
ChatGPT is
Yeah.
there because we were working in that space. But now I want to use AI to check people's work and tell me that it is AI.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work, because like depending on how smart they are, they can mask it really well. That's what I do when I make content, right? I don't copy and paste. I modify it a bit. I put my own stories, and you're never going to distinguish it. Even the AI tools out there tell you, oh, we can distinguish what's real. It's not. It's all BS. I can talk to you later, give you a couple of other solutions. There's a few hacks you can do there, but it's a challenging one.
Okay, thank
I think
you.
my time is gone.